Welcome to our Challenge Cup prediction video. This is the only prediction video on the internet that counts, in our opinion. My name's Craig.
And my name's Karl. Looking forward to these this week, Craig.
Yeah, because you got a few points back from me last week, didn't you?
You've got no way of catching me this week because there's only 4 games to go at, and I'm 3 points above you now.
Yeah, we're probably going to choose some of the same teams here, if not all the same teams. Because, like I said, there's only 4.
Yeah,
and some of them, I mean, they're a little bit easier to call. One game is a bit of a toughie.
Yeah,
could go either way. So we'll see how we go with that.
Yeah, and just wanted to shout out to Rugby League History. He hit 5,000 subscribers this
nice
week.
One.
Yeah, so and I know he watches this video every week, and he always puts his predictions in. And I'd encourage other people to do the same as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, and we know how hard it is to get that kind of following, on social media. So, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do, because it's a great way of letting us know that what we're turning out is what you want. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it just lets us know that we're doing all right. So well done. Yeah, good effort on the 5,000. That's quite a milestone, that.
Do you want to talk about last week's games quickly?
Yeah, can do.
Any standouts? So the Warrington win against Leeds was a cracker, I thought. I know you weren't too impressed being a Leeds fan, but I thought Warrington... I think Warrington now are at that point where we're going to see if they're the real deal, and I think this week's fixture might go a little bit to proving that. And a bit of, not a crisis at Leeds, but they're in a little bit of turmoil.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with their match. Really happy to see Cass chalk up their first win, and I also thought Catalans, earlier on in the season, I predicted that they're going to sort out that soft middle that they've had since the start of the season. They've done it
soft underbelly they had at the start of the season, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they seem to be getting rid of that, and their defence is solid now, really fronting up in defence, and that's been the difference for them the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and strong carries as well. You know what I mean? Just strong all around. So it's going to be making for an interesting couple of games this week.
Yeah. So first game, should I say, of the week is Hull KR, currently sitting 4th in the Super League against the Leigh Leopards in 9th. Craig, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. Especially if Leigh, if they turn up and they play as well as they can play. Then there's a couple of personalities in that team we know that can turn a game on its head. I'm loving watching Matt Moylan at the minute. I think he's just an orchestrator of great things on the thing. But they need the whole team to be firing, and they also need to keep all the players on the pitch. As simple as that. That's the take for it on Leigh. If they can do that, they stand a chance. However, Hull KR are just playing outstanding rugby. Ryan Hall is scoring points for fun. He's chasing that Danny Maguire record, and they're gonna want to get to this final.
Do you know what's so good about Hull KR this year is they start the games so well. That 100 mile an hour, and they're almost knocking teams off before they've even got to the 20-minute mark. Last couple of games, they've had the game wrapped up by half-time. They've almost took the foot off the pedal a little bit in the second half.
But I think they've got every ingredient. If you're like, okay, right, you got a club, you follow a club, and you want every ingredient. They've got the cheeky Mikey Lewis. You know what I mean? They've got the enforcers. They've got the talent, the speed. They've got the talismans of the teams. They're just a great team to watch. And
I mean, I don't think Hull KR are going to win the Super League. It's got to be realistic. They're good, but I don't think they're going to win the Super League. But the Challenge Cup could be that one. They've got to win 3 games.
Yeah.
Challenge Cup could be that one that they're aiming for this year.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm going to go for Hull KR win. I think it's going to be a relatively close win. If a close game, if Leigh can keep all the players on the pitch. Okay, because, I think with the yellow cards, sin bin and that kind of stuff, I don't think they'll be able to compete if they don't have all the players a full complement.
Yeah, I'm going Hull KR. These are my 2 predictions for this game. Hull KR, going to win. Leigh Leopards, Twitter meltdown.
Well, you've a good shout at that admin, haven't you? Because that happened last week.
Well, yeah, and obviously Leigh are the Challenge Cup holders as well at the minute, so they're not going to want to go out in the quarterfinals. Yeah, so watch this space.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout, that. Okay, moving on to the next game. We've got Catalan Dragons and against Huddersfield Giants, 6 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, Catalans currently top of the Super League table. 5-on-5 against Huddersfield, 6th in the table.
Yeah, I think it's got all the markings of a good game, but I don't know. It depends which Huddersfield turn up. I know they've done, they've made mass improvements over the last couple of weeks and done some good stuff, but really,
I haven't watched enough Huddersfield games. Every week when I'm picking which games I'm going to watch on Super League team, I never pick the Huddersfield game as the game to watch. If they're clashing, and is that because they're not entertaining enough? Is it because the crowds aren't big enough and it doesn't have the atmosphere when you watch it on TV? I don't know. So maybe they're going a little bit under the radar. There was certainly a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team wanted to start off with. But they seem to be getting some consistency together.
I've made the decision. I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and have a game on the telly and a game on my iPad. I'm going to try and watch 2 games at the same time. You
need a man cave with like 3 TVs on the wall, so you could just watch them all.
Yeah, right. Make it happen.
Good idea, that one.
And then we'll stream it at the same time.
Yeah. Catalan though, really good win last weekend. Catalan, I wasn't sure about them early on. Lost a lot of big influential players. Tompkins going. They were a little bit soft early on in the season, but last week their defence was absolutely just rock solid. Yeah, especially in the opposition's 20. They were suffocating the other team. They weren't giving them that room to move. Tariq Sims is just an absolute enforcer this year. I just love how he's playing. Just love watching him. Just crunching players left, right and centre. And now they've got a real strong French spine to the team.
Yeah.
Catalan win for me in Perpignan, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a Catalan win in my opinion. But also the defence stood out for me as well. They weren't just sort of solid in defence. Like they were belting. They were just absolutely smashing lumps out of the opposition, you know what I mean? And it was some really good tackles. And it's something that I've noticed this year, now whether it's just in my awareness and it's a thing or not, I don't really know, but I seem to be noticing more one-on-one tackles and less wrestling going on. You know what I mean? I'm seeing players tackle lower. We know we've got to tackle lower. And like grounding the opposition on their own. I'm sort of seeing a little bit more of that. Have you seen more?
Yeah, it's one of the positives that's come out of this tackle height change, isn't it? That I think teams are adopting the tackle style, and I think they're realising if you hit somebody low but you hit them right, you can really force the ball out. And that you're right. That wrestle is going. And I'm glad to see that wrestle going because that wasn't entertaining to watch, was it?
No, okay, so we're both going Catalans there. Next game, Castleford Tigers versus Wigan Warriors, 3:00 on the Sunday.
So this should be an obvious one. Wigan are the favourites, without doubt, going into this game. But you've got to say, Cass, they ain't got loads to play for this year. They're down that bottom end of the Super League. I can't see them challenging for the 8 this year. So they've got to be all in on this quarter-final. They're at home. If the weather plays a part, at the Jungle, it buckets it down, which it very may well do with the weather we've been having. That could be a bit of an equalising factor. French and Field on that pitch in the boggy rain, that's the chance I think Cass have got, but I do think Wigan will be too strong.
Yeah, and all right, you might give Cass, a bone and say, well, you might do all right, but Wigan's going to throw everything at this. They won all trophies this year. They are not holding back in this match. So for me, it's a strong Wigan. It's a strong Wigan win.
I'm going to go Wigan win, but I don't think it's going to be as dominant as we're expecting.
Really? What? Because of why?
Well, those factors I've just said. I think it's going to be a heavy pitch. Wigan have got a lot of speedsters in that team. Your Fields, French. I think it's going to slow them down a bit. I have a hunch about this game that it's going to be closer than we're expecting. And I had a hunch last week about Catalans winning and Warrington winning. I got both of them right. So
all right, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, the final game then. This is the real tough one to call. This is definitely one that we're going to watch. 4:30 on the Sunday. St Helens versus Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, so this is the moment for Warrington, I believe. Whether they've got to show their mettle this week. Our Burgess's men. What we've started hyping them up to be. It's been a bit of a slow burner with Warrington, hasn't it, this year? Nobody expected too much from him because that's what everybody does every year. Burgess, new coach. But they've just built slowly, and then last week they really seemed to come to the forefront and made Leeds look quite average, I thought.
No, I think Leeds.
You thought Leeds made Leeds look average?
Yeah, and Warrington did all right. Don't get me wrong. There were some great moments in that. Matty Ashton tracking down Ash Handley. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Two speedsters head to head. It was fantastic. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be that complimentary at Warrington. And for me, I think Saints are going to win this, and I think it's going to be close right up until sort of the last 10, 15 minutes, and I think then Saints will get 2 late tries on the bounce and take the game. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, well, they've been competitive all year, Saints, aren't they? Like we would always expect them to be. But against Catalan last week, they weren't great.
Well, and Saints are 5th, are they? And Warrington 2nd at the minute. So if you go on form in the league, then Warrington should take it.
Yeah, but the thing with Warrington, they haven't played the
we said this last week. They played Leeds and spanked them.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I think this game is a really important one. This is where we're going to find out what Warrington's really got.
Yeah.
Having said that, I still think Saints are gonna do it.
Okay, so just to summarise, then we've both got Hull KR. We're both going Catalan Dragons, both Wigan, and then both Saints. So
yeah, good luck catching me up this week, mate.
It's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Okay, so as always, if you haven't checked out our live show on Tuesday, please do. Some great stories in that, including an exclusive interview with Jamie Jones-Buchanan. And also we talked about some European wheelchair. What other stuff did we talk about there, Carl?
We revealed the Midlands Nines medals, which is only relevant to people coming to the Midlands Nines, I suppose. We talked about, in Williams Weekly this week, we talked about referees and who we believe were the best referee of the season so far.
Yeah, so it was a great show. Check it out. And also, we've got the full interview with Jamie Jones-Buchanan that's live on the YouTube channel at the minute. And this week's podcast episode, really exciting, Cal.
Yeah, so we've got Kevin Rudd on this week. He's currently with Elmbridge Eagles, but he has been involved with so many clubs, starting up so many clubs and international federations. He was also part of the team that ratified Catalan Dragons, his bid into the Super League. He's a fascinating bloke. The podcast's just over an hour, but we could have spoke to him for hours. The guy has done so much in the world of rugby league, and it's a real fascinating episode.
Yeah, and if you're into shirts and jerseys, then make sure you watch it, because he turned up with this dusty old kit bag, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
It had so many old shirts, ranging from like old Nottingham shirts to Russian shirts, Ukraine, Japan,
Serbian, Scotland, Netherlands, wheelchair rugby league teams. Absolutely everything was in there. Yeah, great episode.
Yeah, real privilege to talk to him, and it's been a real privilege to have you watching this episode. So until the next one, take care.